Young coaches play a very vital role in the future of grassroots football in this country. Though we know many of them struggle a lot to find coaching opportunities due to lack of experience, but this is a situation that they can change themselves as they work towards climbing the ladder when it comes to coaching and developing football in this country. Um, First of all, they should learn that volunteering is a very, very important step when it comes to learning. This one will give you an opportunity to learn from more experienced coaches. And where can you volunteer? There are so many places you can volunteer. First of all, you can volunteer in schools. These primary schools, most of them don't have qualified coaches. You can volunteer in secondary schools. There are these community clubs where you can volunteer to go and just gather experience, gather some confidence, and basic ideas on how coaching can be done. You can obtain coaching qualifications from doing some courses. Like right now, our federation is rolling out courses. So engage, go and do some of those courses, because those courses will provide you knowledge in how to plan your the training methods you can use, how you are going to develop players, how you can analyze matches, how you can train so that your players do, when they engage into tackles, they are like preventing injuries. You just don't enter into tackles anyhow. So your safety comes first. So these coaching lessons will give you some of those basics or the knowledge for you to learn. Then start coaching by coaching these youth teams. You know, young people have a lot to learn, and the more you teach them, the more you repeat routines and you do stuff like that, the more you learn and gather more experience, because you'll know how to plan your training sessions. You'll know how to teach football fundamentals in the simplest way possible. You'll know how to communicate with the parents, with the players. This one you get it firsthand when you are teaching these youth teams, because most of these young people, communication is a problem, and communication in football is one of the biggest things you can learn, or is one of the things that makes you a good footballer. So if you can manage to teach them in the most basic way and you communicate effectively, then that one will be a plus. Next, you should learn from experienced coaches. As you engage into these community clubs as a volunteer, you'll get to learn from the seniors as you observe how are they planning their training sessions. If you find something that you don't understand, you ask. So by asking, you get first-hand knowledge on how things are done. So that one you learn from the experienced coaches. Embrace technology, because from technology you will get a chance of continuing to learn. Continue learning by improving your knowledge. So you watch professional videos, training sessions online, you attend webinars, read coaching books, study tactics and player developments, and all these are things that you can find online. YouTube, even this video I'm making is one way of learning, because I've learned from somewhere. That's why I'm getting this material. I've identified there is a gap where coaches don't maybe know how much or what to do. Then I'm just standing in the gap trying to provide this information. So if you go to YouTube Moose Coach Football, you'll get so many things that we are continuing to analyze, to post, so that we give a chance to these young coaches like me who are gathering information on how to become good coaches. Organize community football activities, create weekend trainings, holiday football camps. This way you'll get a chance to, for example, you've trained the whole week, you'll need to learn something about match analysis. When you organize a football tournament over the weekend and your players play, you'll be able to understand the kind of pressure that is there during a game day. When it comes to training, you see what your players did not do right, then you try and bridge that gap. So this one will increase the leadership experience while increasing football participation. You'll become a better person um, with these kind of experiences. Reflect and improve. Reflect and improve means when you have a game on a weekend or after each and every training sessions, there are some basic questions you need to ask yourself. First of all, what went wrong or what went well in the training session you planned? What went well? Most people, for example, you are doing a session about passing techniques. So you planned a session. What went well? Out of 20 players, 18 got the technique right. So you'll know how to deal with these two. Or out of the session you planned, maybe 2 of them got the session right, got the technique right, but 18 got it wrong. So that should communicate something. Maybe the level of difficulty in your session or the drill was so. That one should give you a learning platform. What will be improved from those from the information you've gathered? Then you'll know what to improve and to make even better, maybe simplify the drill or such kind of a thing. Then how did the players respond from the session you planned or from the tactics you used in a match? How did the players how do the players respond to this? Either was it difficult, did they understand, did they not understand? Because you could be telling them to play in a system maybe they don't understand. So that one is very important, and that one will provide good feedback for you to continue learning and doing things in a simpler or a different way, which will help in improving this. So this leads to continuous improvement. And since these young coaches are very important in our system, they can help in improving our grassroots football. These young coaches, they can really help us in improving our grassroots football if they have the right information and they are doing the right thing. So how can they help us in doing this? First of all, they develop talents by teaching proper technical skills, the passing, ball control, heading, discipline. You need to make sure the kids you're training have good discipline. Teamwork, because a team is 11, handling one person is a bit easier, but handling maybe 20 players becomes comes with its own challenges. So you need to help these kids or the team learn the importance of teamwork, and you also help them develop confidence in ball handling, making decisions on the pitch, because the pressure in a training session and the pressure in a match situation, they are two different things. Especially when you in training, you train when you don't have fans, then you go and play in a stadium full of people, or there are people watching that game. So that one also affects these kids. So part of your training should help these kids come up with a better way or know how to handle pressure. This helps young players reach their potential very easily. Secondly, you promote inclusive football. Girls, boys, those were the people who are differently abled. You should also include them in this. Even if they are not players, they can be photographers, they can be first aid people, they can be kit managers. So you inclusively, so that you bring the whole community together. Introduce modern coaching methods. Bring fresh ideas in your training sessions, especially small-sided games. This one helps with touch, decision making, and things like that. Create some fun games that are player centered, so that you bring the bond. This one helps in teamwork. Technology, embrace technology for performance analysis. For example, in training session, you keep telling a player, the way you are positioning your body is not correct when you are receiving this pass going this kind of direction. So when you keep telling them, maybe they don't understand well, you can introduce like a video. You record the training session, then when that mistakes happen, when you're doing analysis, you refer to that so they can see themselves how they do, then you demonstrate the proper way of doing. That way, I think learning will be better and easier for these players to understand. And then individual player development plans. You have players who would develop faster, others are slow learners, so you just look at a way of dealing with them. Then build positive values. Good coaches teach more than football uh, to these kids. So you should teach them how to respect, discipline, leadership, fair play, teamwork, and how to be responsible. Strengthen local communities. If you are a good coach, you should bring the team and the community, because you need a fan base. Bring these people together. Help them reduce crime in the village or whatever you are nini. Promote healthy lifestyles. Unite communities and become role models. Then lastly, inspire future coaches by mentoring older players to assist you in planning sessions, and this way will help in nurturing this talent.